All right,
Anything
what is
that.
going on, everyone? Welcome. We're doing a college football show. We're big college football fanatics here. Which side is he on? I got Trenton over here with me. We're going to talk about a few different things leading into week two. Week one was a lot of fun to watch. We got to see a few butt whoopings. We got to see Florida State go 0-2 before week two even started. So we're going to kick it off with some Heisman watch. And then we're going to go along with some upset alert and then our key games and some takeaways we have going into the week. So to kick things off for the Heisman watch, I think the first person we need to bring up is our boy Cam Ward. Had a really impressive game last week against a pretty
Favorite to win
yeah.
the Heisman
I,
right now. Seven to
he's
one.
he's the
I think it
favorite.
was.
Um, the dude is really talented, man. Played a decently good Florida team, or at least a Florida team that has 5 stars and 4 stars all over the field last week.
I don't know if Florida's gonna be any good.
No, they're gonna be terrible, but they have talent, man.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, he had 385 yards, three
Yeah, yeah,
touchdowns.
yeah. He looked good. He looked good.
Uh,
I mean, it was just against Florida. I mean, Florida could be really, really bad.
yeah,
I mean, but week one, you don't really know if anybody's good or bad yet, so
yeah,
hard
but
to tell.
on top of that, man, like I think this week he's gonna throw to Restrepo for like 400 yards. They're playing Florida A&M, and Miami
Garbage game.
may try to run up the score, kind of like they did on Florida last week. But I could see them taking a bunch of those guys out towards the end of the game, since it's Florida A&M and not as much Florida, not as much of like an old school rivalry that they used to have. So maybe they take it a little easier on Florida A&M going into the fourth quarter, but expect Cam Ward to throw for 400 plus yards this coming game. I would not be too surprised by that.
I'll wait till they play somebody real, and
Yeah,
then
yeah, right.
we'll get to watch them play some real competition. I guess I mean look good against Florida, but this game that he plays this week, I'm not gonna take for anything because I feel like it's just a pointless
Yeah,
game.
I agree. I agree. I
You
agree.
get no data from watching games like that, so I just don't understand why teams play them. But I mean, there's other people I think that could win the Heisman that you can get better odds at. Starters, my pick to win the Heisman looked pretty good against Week One against LSU. Miller Moss, the USC quarterback, I
Yep,
think looks good.
I agree, man.
40 to 1 is what I got him at before the season started. Current 20 to 1, and I mean Lincoln Riley, he's got those Heisman quarterbacks. Caleb Williams. Before that, he had Kyler Murray. He had Jalen Hurts. Before that, and then he had Baker Mayfield. He's had 4 straight Heisman quarterbacks, Lincoln Riley. So I mean, that's just at 40 to 1, I had to take it. 20 to 1, still not bad.
Yeah,
And then
and I mean
the other dark horse.
they're playing a Utah State this week, so
Yeah, I mean
not
that's
not a
better than
terrible
playing Florida
team.
A&M.
Yeah, I know, not a terrible team, but I mean he only threw for one touchdown last week, but he did have 378 yards through the air. So, um,
Yeah, I mean
I'd expect
they
more touchdowns out of him this week, but
in
probably
the
see
Big
some more
Ten they'll play
yardage.
some good teams, and if they win, it's a better resume I think than playing in the ACC.
Yes, I agree with you there. But while we're on to games that matter, and as far as Heisman watch, we can talk about our boy Quinn Ewers. So playing Michigan this
Yeah, I
week.
mean, Texas fan here, so I mean, I'm a little biased, but I mean, I think we're gonna win.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
I mean,
because last week Ewers had a pretty good week, 20 for 27, 3 touchdowns, one INT. Looked a little shaky to start, but kind of knocked the rust off as they got into like that second and third quarter. I'd expect him to absolutely light up Michigan. I know Michigan last year had this historic and electric defense. They do not have that this year.
yeah,
They,
I mean, Fresno State they played week one, and I mean, that's a good Fresno State team. Their head coach just stepped down like in the summer, so they got
yep,
this new head coach. He had health problems. So the new guy in, they're supposed to be pretty good. But I mean, Fresno State, I had them last week. I think it was 21.5 Michigan and Fresno State covered, but
yeah,
I don't know. I don't think it's the same Michigan team without Harbaugh. They ain't stealing signs no more. I mean, it's definitely not the same team as last year.
yeah.
And I mean, this Texas team, lost some guys, but I mean, they've re-upped with Isaiah Bond.
Dude,
You
Isaiah
got
Bond is
Matthew
crazy. He
Golden,
could
dude.
he could win the
It's
Heisman, man.
yeah, it's gonna be. He's just throwing the 5 stars, and the defense. I mean, they lost some guys on the defensive line, but at Texas, Devondre Sweat and Byron Murphy going off to the NFL. But I mean, you got guys in there that Trey Simmons, he's the new guy, or Colin Simmons, new guy, DN, supposed to be pretty good, and they look good against Colorado State, who
Yeah.
was supposed to have the air raid offense. And Texas's biggest weakness last year was their secondary. Colorado State, an air raid team, they 52 to 0.
Colorado State
So,
torched Colorado last year through the air.
Yeah.
Put it in perspective. But as far as Ewers in a Heisman level game, I think you could see a Heisman contending game from him right here. Like Fresno State gave up.
It's definitely going to be a resume game.
Yeah, I mean, Fresno State was able to get 235 yards through the air last week, and they do not have near the talent that Texas has.
And I mean, I get it. It's in Michigan, so I think, like, the big house, the environment, the atmosphere. But Texas plays in those big environments, bro. It's not like they went to Bama last season and won by double digits in Bama, in Tuscaloosa. So
yep. And
we'll see, yeah.
Yeah, but I got just a few more we'll cover for the Heisman watch. We'll be quick on these. My pick for the Heisman, my boy on the other side of the United States, coming from Arizona, my boy Fifita. 19 for 32 last week for 422 yards, 4 touchdowns. Come on, man.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I didn't watch much of that game. Who were they playing? Some FCS team, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, they weren't playing. Here, I'll pull it up. I have all their notes. I mean, they played New Mexico last week, so
okay. Yeah, I mean,
not an awful team to play this week.
New Mexico
they're playing.
Lost a lot of guys too. They were good last year with Diego Pavia, but now he's the quarterback of Andy. So.
This week they're playing Northern Arizona. They're going to absolutely dog walk them. Yeah. I'd expect Noah to have like 500 yards.
I'll wait to watch them until
Wait till week 3. He's going to light up Kansas State. He's going to absolutely torch Kansas State's defense. But moving on from him,
I could see that. Anybody's game.
My last quarterback, not much of a watch this week since they are playing Tennessee Tech. But Carson Beck looked great against what was supposed to be a really good Clemson defense. Threw for 2 touchdowns, 278 yards to the air last week, and he didn't play much in the fourth quarter. And Georgia did not show a lot of their different packages when it comes.
Well, I'll tell you about Georgia, dude. I mean, I know the Heisman's a quarterback award, but I mean, I had Trevor Etienne, dude. If he's anybody on that team, I think Georgia's going to be pounding the rock a lot.
So the thing with Georgia
but the whole suspension last season kind of fucked his Heisman. I guess he didn't play a game, but I mean, they could still come out of there, 11 games and the playoffs and run a lot of yards, and maybe they'll give the Heisman to somebody not a quarterback. I think he's probably at least my pick.
Yeah, I
mean, the non-quarterback pick.
The thing is, Georgia has really 5 capable running backs, and I think they would rather spread the rock.
He's splitting time.
But my last player for Heisman watch, our boy from Colorado, 2-way player, probably the best player in the country right now because he played 129 snaps last week and still looked fresh. Travis Hunter, dude's unreal.
Yeah.
Dude is.
I mean, I know we're gonna talk about this Colorado-Nebraska game, but I'm just not on Colorado this season. I don't know. Prime. It's not convincing. I mean, they only won 4 games last season. So I mean, I got to see it from them. And I mean, they should have lost to North Dakota State. But.
Yeah. Well, while we're on it, I guess we can go ahead and move into our upset alerts. Colorado is going to upset Nebraska this weekend.
Yeah, I have to tell you, I'm definitely not on this side. Definitely on Nebraska, I think. But, I mean, it's definitely a hard game. Revenge game, too. Last season, Nebraska lost Colorado. So
at Colorado.
Second year under Matt Rule. I know it's the first year they got Raiola at quarterback. The Buford guy out of Georgia.
The 4 high school kid. Played at 4 different high schools.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I don't know if he's good. Freshman, he'll play. But, I mean, I just have to see it from Colorado because I haven't seen him play well. I mean,
here's
they
what I
couldn't
think.
cover this. Well, what's the number? Is it,
no, I just think Colorado's going to flat out win.
Yeah, flat out. But I don't know if Nebraska will cover. But I don't think
it's 6.5 right now on ESPN.
In the big house, it opens 7.5, I guess.
Yeah.
But.
So here's the thing: Raiola got better as the game went on last week. He's trying to shake the jitters. He's playing college football for the first time in his entire life.
He's young. Yeah,
but
I mean, definitely more experience.
I think what's going to benefit
talent-wise.
What's going to benefit Colorado is they're not going to have all those damn celebrities on the sidelines like they do at their home games. I think that is
They don't
distracting
got
for
Big X to plug.
No, that is distracting for 18 and 19-year-old players. Let them play football, dude. I think Colorado
Yeah.
is going to look a lot better than they did last week, and they're going to look much more complete.
Well, you
Also,
see, on the subject of like all the distractions,
yeah,
Nebraska, they're bringing back, I think, their first touchdown, and they're gonna celebrate. They release a bunch of balloons in the
yeah,
air. I don't know. That's supposed to be cool,
yeah.
but
I just think hopefully Coach Prime can kind of get them together because I mean Colorado's a fun team to
yeah. I mean, I
watch. They
like
have some
Dion.
electric
They're
players.
fun to
How could you
watch.
not like Dion, man?
A lot from.
Like
I,
it.
I just don't think they're good. I haven't seen them play good. They weren't
Yeah,
good last season, so why do I think they're gonna be good this season?
yeah, and then I mean,
Well, I gotta see it
Shiloh
first.
Sanders does not need to be hitting people after the play or doing all the stupid shit he was doing last week. They will lose that game if that's the case.
Yeah.
But I think Colorado definitely has the better quarterback. They have the much more mature quarterback, and I think that's going to take them through to upset Nebraska at Nebraska.
Yeah. I mean, that's a tough one. I don't want to pick either team because Nebraska's not that great either last year.
Yeah, so you're going to rock with me, and they're going to upset Nebraska. I like it, Trent.
I don't think so, dude. No bet, but I think in our, in the college pick'em pool, I definitely pick Nebraska. It was just the home field advantage. I
Go.
think low points though. I don't feel good about it.
Picking the under at 56.5.
Uh, I don't pick much totals, but 56. I'd probably take the over. Honestly, I think it's gonna be probably a shootout.
Yeah. Yeah. If it turns into a shootout, I don't think Nebraska will be able to keep up. But
Yeah.
moving on, we really got two more upsets coming in. Next one, we got Tulane over Kansas State. Tulane's going to have the home field advantage. They got a true freshman quarterback coming in who is ready to rock. He's taking over after Michael Pratt, who was a 4-year starter. Looked good last week, but they did play Southeast Louisiana.
Yeah, the Southeast Louisiana was 3-8 last year
Yeah.
in the FCS. So they're not, good FCS. Like
No.
you see some of these FCS teams play that decent FCS teams, like South Dakota State, or like played Oklahoma State last week. Like those are some good teams, but South Louisiana State or Louisiana, whatever they are, fucking bottom of the pack FCS. But still 52-0. That's a good score.
Yeah,
You can execute the offense. They got the new Troy. The Troy coach John Summerall just came in. Home field advantage. I don't know if they'll win, but.
And for Kansas State last week, Avery
Definitely.
Johnson did not look that good. So
they played UT Martin, who's
Yeah.
the FCS school, but they're definitely a better FCS school than freaking Southeast Louisiana if you want to compare their Week 1 games. But just based off all the guys, K-State's lost. No more Will Howard.
Yep.
Avery Johnson got some time last year.
Didn't look
he's
great
good,
last
but
year. I don't think he's I think
I don't
Kansas
know.
State has
Tulane could win. It's really like a toss-up for me on who's going to win. But if you give me 10.5 points, I'm going to take the 10.5 points at home.
Yeah. My thing is, so this is a noon game Eastern time. So what? It's 11 o'clock there. They got to travel there.
Yeah, it's a morning game.
It's a morning game for them.
Tulane gets popping.
Yes. So, if it turns into a shootout, Kansas State is not keeping up. There's no chance they can keep up. So they need to get a lot of stops on defense. They need to hold Tulane to probably under 28 points to have a chance of winning this game.
Yeah.
Even though they're favored.
I don't think they will.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good game. I'm gonna watch it for sure.
Our last upset, we got. Who did we have? Sorry. We had Arkansas.
I didn't know there was one last one.
Oh no.
Oh, you got Arkansas
in
the Oklahoma State game. This game was tough for me.
Yeah.
I don't feel good about this one either way.
Yeah.
I was on South Dakota State last week against Oklahoma State. I didn't think Oklahoma State was really that great. Last year, they returned a lot of guys. The fucking quarterback's fucking 30 years old, and they got Ollie Gordon at running back, who's the Dulac Walker Award winner, and he's supposed to be pretty good. But they looked good last week. In the South Dakota State team, they had won 29 games in a row, the back-to-back national champs. So I was like, oh man, dude. And it was like a 15-point spread.
Yeah.
Oklahoma State favored, and they covered. So I was impressed. But Arkansas State, they played or Arkansas, they played somebody, some other FCS. I don't remember who,
UAPB,
but
Arkansas
yeah,
Pine
they
Bluff.
blew them out like what, 70 to
70
nothing, was
nothing,
it?
baby. It was
Yeah. So
the rain dance
is
day.
Arkansas Pine Bluff a good FCS team?
Uh, I've heard of them.
I mean, I haven't. Hold on, let me look up
They're not
their.
South Dakota State good.
Yeah, I mean they're definitely not the back-to-back national champs with 29 wins in a row. Good, but
I think you can start QB there.
I mean it's still. Oh, they were bad. They were bad last
Yeah.
year. Oh yeah, 2-9 last. They won 2 games last year in the FCS. So that's tough for me because I haven't seen anything really. I can't really take anything from that Arkansas game because or Arkansas Pine Bluff game.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
a scrimmage at that point. Like, what do they put their freaking backups in the second half? Did their quarterback even play the whole time?
I think he just played the first half and he looked good. He
Yeah.
looked very composed, which is what they needed out of Taylor Green. But also, I think when it comes to this Oklahoma State game, I think he's gonna be able to torch Oklahoma State with his legs, man.
They looked good, Oklahoma State though last week, and maybe they're upset about they felt they had a playoff spot last year if they beat
Yeah.
Texas in the Big 12. Probably not though, but I mean,
Yeah. So
let's see.
we'll see. That could be a fun game to watch.
That's tough.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
It could be a
it'll be
really fun
definitely a
game.
fun one to watch. Probably maybe a shootout if I had to guess. We'll
Yeah.
see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But moving on to key games, we've already discussed a few upsets that are kind of key. But we'll kick it off with Tennessee versus NC State. I'll just go with my few things here. I think this is a big game for Nico. NC State supposed to have a good defense, but they did not have the dominant D last week, and I think this Tennessee town is going to really start to shine.
I thought this number was going to be way higher than
Yes,
9.5.
but yeah, I mean, I guess because they're
I
playing
would have got like
Charlotte.
15 or 16.
I guess because they're playing in Charlotte. I think the big thing is you have Nico, who's a little inexperienced, but he's super talented. If
Yeah,
Tony Gibson, who's a great defensive coordinator for NC State, if he could disguise a lot of his coverages a little more, then maybe he can throw Nico off a little, make him turn the ball over. But he seems to be a pretty precise passer. I mean, fighting out of that, fighting against that 3-3-5 defense. Could be a little.
I mean,
what
NC State barely beat Western Carolina last week.
Yeah, I know.
They were kind of a middle of the pack FCS. They went 7-4 last year. I think they lost maybe, or they didn't make the playoffs. So
yeah,
they're kind of middle pack. Tennessee played some other FCS though, didn't they? They
Chattanooga
won.
Yeah,
Chattanooga.
69-3.
Yeah, I mean they're usually pretty average, I think. Yeah, it's just hard to take anything from those games. So you're kind of just picking on who you think the team's going to be. And the media says that Nico Iamaleava, or however you say his name, like Iamaleava.
Iamaleava.
Iamaleava. Right. Well, we'll see. They say he's good. I mean, I'll probably take them to cover, but I don't feel great about it.
I
don't
think they're going to
I bet
cover.
it.
I think they're going to stomp NC State, dude.
Yeah, they could. They could very well. I'm definitely not taking NC State, but not touching this. I think probably, and I don't feel good about either way. Got to see them before I can pick them. I feel.
Yeah. All right.
I think I took Tennessee in the pick them.
Yeah, I took Tennessee as well. A lot of confidence points on them.
19 points on them. I did put, so I must have felt confident. I made my pick, dude.
That is a lot of confidence points.
I might have to change that. I don't know. I mean, NC State did not look good last week, so there's that.
Yeah, but moving on to the next key game, we got the Battle of Iowa. My big question I got for you is Cade McNamara good enough to absolutely stomp Iowa?
So this new Iowa team, it's not Iowa State, I guess. Yeah, this new Iowa's got this new offensive coordinator, I believe, Tim Lester. So I read a little bit about him. He spent 6 years at Western Michigan as the offensive coordinator, and he spent 1 year with the Packers under Matt LaFleur last year. In his time at Western Michigan, he went 37-32, which is, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's above 500 in Western Michigan, and they play in the MAC conference, I believe. So what's the best you can do there? But I will say last week they scored 40 points and had, I can't remember how many yards, but they had their best offensive output since 2019 under Tim Lester.
I mean, Caden McNamara threw for
So we'll see
251 yards.
Caden McNamara in the second year. So this is his second year at Iowa, right? He was at
Yes.
Michigan the year before last year.
Yes.
So, I mean, the big thing I like is quarterbacks in their second year under a new system. So I'm trying to think. If you look at Georgia Tech, they got
look at Haynes King. Look at
Haynes King. Last year was kind of mid the pack, in his first year transferring from A&M in the new system. His second year this year, I mean, they look pretty good. He looks like a good quarterback, can complete the passes, be efficient, and execute the plays. So I mean, second year, Caden McNamara. Granted, I mean it is a new offense this year, but he's still in the same place. Feels comfortable around his teammates. I think that makes a big thing. I'm on Iowa.
Yeah, I am too. And Iowa's at home. They put up 40 points last week. Iowa State struggled to score 21 against North Dakota. So,
they were really inconsistent last year. They had the gambling scandal last year, and they had a bunch of players suspended like the half season. But even still, like they lost some games and stuff. But I think they still had a winning season ended up. So their head coach, Matt Campbell, is it? I believe, a pretty good coach. They always have a winning season. They find ways to win. But in Iowa, definitely going to take Iowa. They still have the great defense, and their offense looks to be upgraded. And granted, they played against Illinois State, who's kind of a middle of the pack FCS last week. But hey, 40 points. That's a lot for Iowa.
Dude, that is crazy. Usually you're used to seeing them win like 7-3.
Yeah, I mean, I don't expect them to score that many points this game. Probably it's going to be like it's gonna be like a 15-12 type game or something.
No, I think they'll hang up 21. I think they'll hang up at least 21.
21?
Yeah.
That's 3 touchdowns.
I know. Or 7 field goals. Quick maths.
Yeah, that. That would be good.
Oh man. So, our next key game. I'll say a few quick things for it real quick. I'm a little biased from my hometown, but Kentucky versus USC. Kentucky is going to blow South Carolina out of the water, and this is going to be Brock Vandegrift's coming out party of why he was recruited to Georgia, of why he was this high-level high school football player.
150 to 1 to win the Heisman, by the way.
Hey, take him now, man.
Anything can happen.
Take him now. Last week, it was very chill with play calling. They're letting him get his feet wet. He made some mistakes because he has not played very much college football. So it was about getting him going, getting him into the new system, which Southern Miss is not a terrible team. But, dude, Vandegrift was able to make some incredible plays on his feet to extend the play. And I'll tell you what, this dude is so crazy. Like, he got flushed out of the pocket. I was like, oh, he's probably going to get tackled. It was like 3rd and 8. I was like, he'll get a few yards. It'll be like 3rd and 4. Middle linebacker's right at the first down marker. He lowers his shoulder, lays the boom to their middle linebacker, and gets the first down. And their whole team goes nuts, dude. I think they're playing at Kentucky. Kroger Field's going to be nuts. I think Kentucky is too good all around for South Carolina to even come close. I mean, South Carolina struggled last week against Old Dominion.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing for me. Is South Carolina should have lost. I mean, they were losing in the first half. I think they ended up pulling away late in the fourth quarter. But Western Carolina, I mean, I'm pretty sure they're not a good FCS school. I mean, granted that Kentucky played Southern Miss, who's FCS. I mean, they're in the Sun Belt, but they only won 3 games last year. So, I mean, I don't think they're good. But the biggest thing take away from me is the 0. I mean, you get that shutout. I mean, you can stop the defense and definitely probably stop South Carolina's defense. Dame Beamer might be fired.
Yeah,
probably
I think,
before the end of the season. I don't know what the odds are. I could probably look them to see what the first head coach to be fired is, but
the only chance I think South Carolina has is if the senior Raheem Sanders just has an incredible game running the ball. He's a great running back. He's good. He's healthy, but I just think Kentucky has too much talent all over the field. They've got transfers coming in. They recruited well this offseason.
Mike Stoops, bro, he gets those. I think he's just got to win, get to a bowl game, 6 games, and they add another year onto his contract. So they're always kind of mid every year. But South Carolina's bottom SEC. They're gonna be probably worse than Vandy this year. I think they might not win a single SEC game. South Carolina.
I mean, they play Florida, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's between them and Florida who be the worst SEC team. I think Florida might beat them. Yeah. I don't know.
Last one, or one of the last few ones we got. Um, Georgia Tech gonna keep on rolling. Coach Key got these boys in locked right now. Haynes King's gonna play well. He's gonna get more comfortable, more established into this offense. Our boy Effort, the middle linebacker, is probably gonna have 9 million tackles. He had 13 solo tackles last week, I think is what it was. Dude is unreal. Got the cowboy collar, eye black all over his face. Dude looks like the American linebacker, just the epitome of it, and he's playing like it too. So that Tech defense can rally around him, and Haynes King can turn the ball over less than twice.
I really, really like this Tech team. So I think this Syracuse is going to be a big test for them. They can travel up north. I mean, they traveled to Ireland and were able to good well, but I mean, I guess that's kind of a neutral site, but they still, are able to travel. I mean, you're going up north. That's a long travel. What, like a fucking 5-hour flight, I guess? Yeah. I don't know. From Atlanta to New York. So we'll see if they travel well. But I'm sitting nice. I got a nice little 66-1. Georgia Tech to win the ACC, so that might be a little nice, I mean, they beat Miami last year.
A little bit, yeah.
I mean, Miami's probably the only people I don't think. I mean, if Miami comes down to it between Georgia Tech and Miami and the, ACC championship, that's a nice head. But I like Georgia Tech here. I think their offense looks pretty good.
And not that Syracuse looks bad. Like Kyle McCord, he didn't look too bad last week. I mean, they played Ohio.
They got Honda McCord.
Yeah, Honda McCord, baby.
They look pretty good. And I mean, in the Carrier Dome. What time is this game?
This game is at noon.
Noon. Yeah, I don't know. That Carrier Dome gets kind of hyped though.
Yeah.
Indoors.
Yeah.
I'm on Georgia Tech.
That's what I'm saying. If Haynes King limits turnovers, he had one interception, or he has one interception on the year. If he limits his turnovers, they're fine.
I mean, I don't think you're going to be able to get Georgia Tech at this, cheap of a price, at, this close of a spread versus teams later in the season once maybe everybody starts filling out how good they are. But, I mean, some people are also saying that Georgia Tech just looks good because maybe Florida State is really, really bad.
Yeah.
I mean, so we'll see. But.
Yeah. 2 games left real quick. You wanted to mention a few things about Washington State, Texas Tech real quick. What'd you have on that?
Yeah. So I don't understand this. Washington State, Texas Tech. Texas Tech went to overtime last week with Abilene Christian. And the only thing I know about Abilene
basketball
Christian
school,
is,
baby.
Basketball school. They beat Texas fucking round 1 a few years back. That was
15 seed,
brutal.
right? 15 and 2 seed.
That was brutal. Yeah, 15 seed. So I mean, they take Texas Tech, a bad Texas Tech team. They were bad last year, and I don't know if they really re-upped or got any guys. And they play Washington State, who looked really good over Portland State. Granted, FCS school, but I'm pretty sure they scored 70 points. So I don't understand. This must be a little trappy or something. Feels a little weird. Spread's only 1. Money line's a pick 'em. I'm on Washington State all day, and they're honoring Mike Leach.
They have
at
to
the game.
The Pirates.
Texas Tech still hasn't paid Mike Leach his money. If there's any kind of mojo, juju going on, Mike Leach from the grave. Washington State gonna win.
Yeah. I mean,
he don't like Texas Tech.
I mean, I don't think you should pick Texas Tech unless they're playing and they're like a 8 seed in
I feel
March Madness.
Really good about this pick.
If it's basketball,
Texas Tech or Washington State over Texas Tech.
And my last game that we'll talk about, the game I feel most confident about, maybe other than Kentucky, is Texas going to absolutely run in and roll Michigan. 3 touchdown win minimum. Michigan is not going to be able to keep up. Their coach isn't even on an active contract. He's going to be gone halfway through the season because they're going to realize how terrible he is and how terrible Michigan is. Yeah. They're done. Texas is about to show out. Quinn Ewers throwing for 3 million yards. Isaiah Bond about to go 007 touchdowns on him. It's not even going to be close.
I'm hoping.
It's not going to be close, Trent.
I did bet it at -7. I mean, as a fan, I get nervous about these games. As a, big Texas fan, so I get nervous. It's a big game, so we'll see. I mean, definitely not our biggest game this season, but early in the season, it's a big game.
Defending national champs. It's a big game to start, man. Yeah, this is week 2.
National champ.
It's a 4-point spread in favor of Texas. I think that's an absolute
Did it
joke.
Open at 4? Is
no,
that what it is?
No, that's what it is.
It's 7 now.
Oh, no. So sorry. I read it backwards.
Yeah.
It's 7
It's
now.
that at 7.5 all week, but yeah. I think we talked about this earlier, but
Yeah, but I just want to bring it back up that I just don't think there's anything Michigan can do unless Quinn Ewers turns the ball over 17 times. Which then they'll put in Arch Manning.
His interception last week was kind of weird. It
Yeah.
like just hits off the lineman. I think he looked good, but
I think he should like knocked the rust off in the first quarter and then he got going.
They just have so many elite guys.
Yeah, too much talent for Michigan.
I mean, money can buy teams now, and Texas is buying wins. So no complaints over here, and you can just buy national champions with Lambos and fucking private jets.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a Texas fan by any means, but I'm picking them to absolutely stomp the defending national champs. I don't think there's anything Michigan can do. So that's all of our key games. We talked about our upset alerts, talked about our Heisman watch. Any other closing remarks you'd like to say about going into week 2?
Big underdog. I'd actually like to mention Boise State over Oregon plus 19.5. If you want a dark horse for Heisman, Ashton Giante ran for 6 touchdowns last week against
270 yards, 260 yards.
So I think if you played anybody in DFS
267 yards
that had Ashton Giante, you probably lost. That guy fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's just
and Oregon doesn't look good. I'd like to 19.5. That's plenty of points for me. Boise State, they say, might be the FBS, the Group of 5 playoff team. They could be one of them.
I told you. Hey, I was saying that week 0, man.
Yeah, I was. I mean, the Georgia Southern alum here, dude. I'm hoping Georgia Southern could win that one at home. It was a big game, but that guy ran all over us.
Yeah, which it'll be cool to see what he can do this week. To see if he can kind of back it up. I mean, they're playing Oregon. If he's able to run all over Oregon, then that's going to be huge for them, man.
Yeah.
I don't think Oregon is a 7 team right now. I don't know why people have Dylan Gabriel in Heisman.
Are they
watch.
ranked number 7?
They're ranked number 7.
See, I don't look at the rankings because I think they're total bullshit. Because that is total bullshit.
Yeah.
That's crazy. They did terrible last week against Idaho. Decent FCS school, but 24-14. I mean,
maybe we start releasing. Maybe we start releasing our own rankings.
Oh, I'd love to.
That'd be so fun to do. But yeah, I mean, Oregon not looking great last week. Dylan Gabriel, I know, had a ton of passing yards, 41 for 49.
I don't think he.
But I just don't think he's him, man. I just think there's plenty of other guys that are a higher caliber than him. But I think we'll end it right there. Thank you to those of y'all that tuned in. Let us know if you guys like the college football talk. We've got a ton of stuff planned. We're big college football fanatics. We know a lot of you guys are too. We plan on doing some recaps and maybe some other things as well. If there's anything you guys want to see, let us know. And we will see y'all next time. Peace.